All right, we're here, and my name is Aldona Shea, and my website is visionaryenergyhealing.com, and I also have my Facebook page, Visionary Energy Healing, and I'm here with my friend, Kathy.
Egan.
Kathy Egan.
And I'm grateful to be here with you. And my name is Kathy Egan, and my practice is the Healing Village. And I also have a website, thehealingvillagekte.com. And my Facebook page is the Healing Village KTE for Kathleen Teresa Egan. And I'm grateful to be here with Aldona sharing our time.
Yeah, and you have an Etsy shop too.
Yes, I do. I also have an Etsy shop. And that is also the Healing Village KTE on Etsy.
Yeah.
And we're both on Instagram. I'm, again, the Healing Village KTE on Instagram.
Yeah, and I'm Earth Crystal Artist on Instagram. And sell my crystal art there. But we're here to talk about energy healing. We're both energy practitioners, and we are passionate about teaching people about energy healing because it's an awesome thing to receive, and it seems somewhat magical, but it really does. It is based in science, and so about 90% of what of the known world is invisible, or you can't see, or we don't perceive. So the 10% of what we see is physical, and 90% we don't see. And usually that's what energy healing deals with, is that 90% of the unseen world where everything is connected. And so when you go to an energy healer, they're going to deal with the energy or the vibratory field of who you are. And so Kathy wanted to talk more about the vibratory field.
Yes, I did. That's I think of ourselves, and I'm sure many people have heard this, that we are energy beings who have chosen a physical existence. And my work works with the energy field outside of our physical existence. And that energy field is one with your energy field, which creates the vibratory field. And if we keep this field clear and cleansed, things won't hit your physical form. So if you're having some physical issues, then it's wonderful to receive an energy treatment to get your auric field, your subtle energy bodies, completely cleared out. And I do that with kyanite. I work a lot with crystals and stones. I clear your energy field with kyanite. And as I'm doing that, I'm combing through your whole energy field with kyanite. And in that, I pick up information that's going on.
Right.
And that
I think also the physical energy field, or the person's energy field, reflects the vibratory field, or the whole field that we see, where what we're looking at, 90% we don't see, but also in the person we don't see that, and we're not aware of it either. It's
yes, that's a good point.
We don't think about breathing, or our nervous system does most of the work. So does our energetic system when it meets things in the field. It's interacting with our consciousness and our subconscious, and we're creating as we're going along through this field. We're all little consciousnesses running around, bumping into each other.
Yes, I heard an analogy recently about a tapestry. So on the back, you've got all the threads pulling the picture on the front. And I loved it because the threads in my mind represented the vibratory field. And that's how it's energetic, and that's how it is. And then what is it we want to create in our life becomes that picture on the tapestry.
Yes, our focus. Yeah.
Yes, or focus.
Here's another one is like, imagine a memory foam mattress, which is like the universe, and how whatever you're vibing at or whatever you're vibrating at, you know, if you press your hand into the memory foam mattress, that's what you'll see is your hand. But if you, whatever your vibe is impressing into the field, and that's what you're creating, and that's what comes back at you.
Yep. Yes. And I like using crystals and stones for that, because
right. They're so stable.
Yeah, well, and they emulate, you know, your own frequency. So like, say you put your hand on that memory foam as an example, as a metaphor, you know, and that's what's going on within you. And there's something there that's causing you anguish. Depending on the crystal that you're using, you're going to ease that up. And then when we get the information, we can go deeper. And once we're both in that relaxed meditative state, we access information that we don't in our everyday life, because we've got those daily stresses going on, you know?
Right.
And so when you get deep into that, you're really getting into the fiber of your deeper being. And I think.
Right. And you're acting like a guide that you have tuned yourself so that you can sort of feel or detect what's going on with the person and read their field. And then you're applying your stones and crystals and your knowledge and your emotion code, kinesiology, and your energy healing, LaHoChi, and all the many things that you do.
And their field, because I feel like I'm just the conduit and I hold space.
Yes.
And in doing that, I receive information that will trigger something that they're ready to look at and release or understand at a deeper level. So the client, depending on the degree of commitment and courage, I always say that, you know, this work takes commitment, courage, trust, and belief.
Yep. And readiness.
Readiness.
Yeah. It's like an onion too, you know, like the onion, the thing that's ready to go will go.
Yep. That's, and it's wonderful to see it transform on the table. That's like, and you do the same sort of work, because when I'm with you, you're using crystals too at times, but you have other skills and other background that we get in deeper to things I didn't even know were still there.
Right. And I think I love the way that you put it, is that you're holding the field, or you're holding the space for the person so that they can also, you know, pay attention to whatever it is that you're seeing. And it's like, it's kind of like practicing meditation. It's a space that is, you know, it's not magic or anything. It's a space that exists, that if you practice going there enough, you can start to decipher what's going on in there.
Yeah, that's, well, and I like the concept of taking full responsibility, because our reality is what we have brought forward from the threads in the pastry, the tapestry, Freudian slip pastry. Okay. The tapestry in the background, you know, pulling that out of the vibratory field and creating your reality. So if you take full responsibility for that, when you're up against something, and even if it's your dearest loved one, and they've just said something that triggers you, and you take that on as, oh, this is part of me, that part in me that created this, you know, and go through the forgiveness process. That also helps, and that comes up a lot on the table. Right. So when people are ready to show up.
Yes, so it's consciously or subconsciously, somehow you wove that into your tapestry.
Yeah. With
your field, but not, like most of it is subconscious energy, like from childhood patterns.
Yep.
and we operate from those. It's like the base operating system of the computer, and
Yeah.
Until you learn to reprogram that, you're just going to keep creating. You'll think that life is happening to you instead of you're creating life.
Exactly. And as you well know right now, and I know a lot of people have heard of the Ho'oponopono.
Yes, yes.
And I also did it many, many years ago, probably about 10 years ago, and then it's been brought back up.
Yes.
And I've gotten stronger with it, and it really makes a difference because
it does.
You've got your subconscious mind, and then above that, your conscious mind, and then your superconscious mind, the triangle, and then the divine. So what you were just saying, the conscious mind has choice. It has thought. It says, oh, wait a minute, I don't really like what's being done right here in front of me. It's the subconscious mind that's creating that reality.
Right.
So you start talking to the subconscious mind with, oh, I'm sorry, please forgive me.
Right.
And you begin to feel the shift. I've been feeling the shift more and more, and I've been getting to where, oh, it truly is me. I'm not just thinking, okay, I'll go along with this.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really truly is me.
When you apply that in a way of empathy and caring and understanding, like you're like, oh, I recognize you. I see you
Yes.
for what you are, and I'm here for you. I think a large part of, they're saying like one part of therapy, one of the large reasons therapy works is just because you're recognizing the person has a problem, and that you're that's what you're doing with the subconscious, is you're recognizing that there is a subconscious, and that was in the subconscious.
And that you programmed it.
Yeah, yeah.
You're the one that's programming that subconscious. So
Right.
You go down and you say, oh, I was not so aware at the time. I'm really sorry that happened.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
from a mother to a child.
Right.
And then the subconscious being the child. And then the subconscious coming back with, oh, please forgive me. And then it goes on up to the superconscious. And then with that clarity of, oh, thank you, and I love you, it's like clearing a crystal. And you're at this clear state to go back to the divine, where true inspiration comes in.
Right. And but that takes practice as well. It's like it's a learned skill to recognize, to be aware of when something like that is happening, to have your conscious awareness acknowledge it.
Yes.
And you were saying about you have programmed it, but you programmed it when you were 1 or 2 or 3 or 4.
This is your work. Yes.
Your work.
Talk about that.
Yes.
Because you're wonderful with that. So how would you go about that in your work?
In my work, it's somewhat, I would just treat it as a separate consciousness, and say that I would offer empathy to the part of you, that because it's not the whole of you, and it's not even a conscious part of you. So acknowledging that, yes, there is a younger part of you, that because all time is now, that all things are happening right now. There's no other time than now. All past and all future is all here one. That's why you're able to go back in time. That's why you're able to connect with anything in the universe, because all space and time is now. So you can go back to the consciousness of your child that got wounded, and you can, in your imagination, which is just as good as, because the universe is a hologram, it's just as good as being there live. And you can apply the feeling of empathy towards that young child, and listen to them and have a conversation with them, and bring them back into your heart, so that they aren't alone and they're not operating on the subconscious level anymore. And then you keep that young one in your consciousness until it truly is integrated with you, and then you don't get triggered by the same thing. So like how you would know there was a part of you that needed healing would be if you reacted like severely to somebody like cutting you off in traffic, or if a loved one criticized you and you were just devastated when it could have just been like water off a duck's back, you know, if somebody else said it. So that's how you know, is there's an overreaction, and when you've overreacted, you're definitely acting out of a child part.
Yeah.
You control it.
Yeah.
And
that's another reason why.
Sorry.
To me, that's when I know I need to go and find healing. When you overreact, you know, it's like, oh, wait a minute, something's going on here. I need to get cleared. That's what, you know, for a while when I first started my practice, I would do my own healings. I would put the stones on and go into a meditative state. And then I thought, you know, you really need to get healing yourself so that I could be more present. And once I started getting them regularly, I am more present for my clients.
Yeah, that's why we need each other. We can't do this alone.
Yeah. Which is nice. It's so nice to go and just let go, and I'm in someone else's hands, you know?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that I don't remember what you said just a minute ago, but it made me think of LaHoChi. I mean, emotion code.
Yes.
And that's removing we continue to work with the subconscious mind, the energy field outside of our bodies. And that's how LaHoChi and the crystals come together, because the crystals emulating individuals in your frequency, your energy body, along with when we have a trapped emotion, it's trapped in that same energy body. And you can feel it. You can feel the heavy energy there, and you can release that. But what's nice is, like what you said, you can go back to that younger child, because you can get the age around what age it was and what incident came up at that time, that you can release that. And it's amazing to see. Oh, I know, that's what I was going to share with you. So a friend of mine came for, when I was studying the emotion code, she was one of the people, we had to train on so many, 35 people or so. And she said, you know, I don't believe in this. I said, I know, but I need somebody to work on, please.
You don't have to believe on it. Don't care.
Yeah, and that's what we were being trained. They don't even have to believe it, you know. Right. I thought, this is great for me, because I'll get to see if it works or not. And so she did her sessions. We did, I don't know how many sessions. And about 6 months later, she called me. She was with her family. Like, that's what you were talking about. You don't get triggered the same.
Yeah.
She was with her family. The same issues were coming up. And I could tell she was hiding somewhere. And she called and I said, what's going on? She said, this shit works. She said, it's all happening the same, and I'm not even getting triggered.
Yeah.
So it does. When you, as you were saying, you get it out of the subconscious and bring it to the conscious.
Right. The caveat there is that you actually, you do have to identify the emotion, but you also have to feel it. You have to feel the emotion, and you have to allow. It's like when emotions are, they have a life. They're in this world for a purpose, and if they don't get expressed, then they will hide in the body until you acknowledge them or express them. And that's how, you know, you can get ill, is when you keep suppressing emotions, and then that energy does stuff to your body, which is not necessarily healthy.
Press 1 now. Once again, press 1 now. Or press 2 to decline this offer.
No. So anyway, so I just want to ask you why would somebody come to you?
I have people, I'm thinking now, so those that do come to me.
Yes.
People who are working deeply on their own energy field, because if we clear this out, and like you were saying, we get into the deeper emotions and we touch base, and I do some work with connecting with the younger child and doing a whole process with that. They want to either, I don't really like the idea of, grow spiritually, but that is in a sense what they're coming for, is that they want, what it says to me when someone wants to grow spiritually is that they have recognized that they have regular daily stresses that are holding them back from being able to access the truth of who they are.
Right.
And they're trying to find that truth.
And they can't get beyond it on their own.
Yeah, whatever the words are that they use, it
Right.
always comes back to trying to find that truth.
Right.
And in doing that, when they clear this field and clear these little heavy balls of energy out, their vibratory field actually does shift. It shifts, and then your human form has to naturally shifts to balance with that.
Yeah.
Through that, they want to come back because they can feel that shift, and they'll have changes in their life, even if they're subtle.
Right.
They see that they're really thinking differently. They want to process their emotions in a different way. I've had clients who come and they're just flogging themselves all the time, and they say, I've got to stop this. This is what I really want to do. How can I do that? And it's through the energy work. It's the energy of the stones. It's the energy of, I call it my sacred triangle. It's where the client, myself, and source, that higher power,
Right.
we come together, and I hold space, and their energy shifts, and that what happens.
They're making a different impression on the energy field. So, because they've changed they've changed their energy field because of the energy work, and then they're no longer experiencing the same stuckness or whatever, or emotional stress, because they're vibrating at a different level.
Right.
And they're getting different results from the energy field.
That's, yes, I always say your perception shifts.
Right.
What happens is once this energy field is cleared and cleansed, your perception shift. And when your perception shifts, then your thoughts, your choices shift. Some people drop out of your life. Some people come into your life. It's just amazing how adjusting this energy field that's beyond us, which is really the 90% that we were talking about, shifts your whole life.
Right.
How about you? How would people come to you? For what reason?
Well, I would say probably about the same thing. People are struggling with either emotional or, it's usually stressful problems in their life, or they have a physical problem that it has manifested, and they want clarity with that. Usually I can, my method is sort of to go to each organ and find out what emotions are. It's similar to the emotion code, but I'm going right to the organs of the body because that's where they're held. So I just reflect back to them what I'm hearing in the body, and then the body feels heard. So that's one part of it. And then we find out where the original sort of vibration started, and then we shift it by aligning it with the chakras or the energy or whatever energy field, the emotional, mental, etheric field it's holding in. So yeah, it's for essentially empowerment or transformation. I know there's all kinds of sort of not specific words, but that's people come to feel better.
Yeah,
it's like getting a
massage. On all
massage.
levels. What?
It's kind of like getting a massage, but it's more,
Yeah.
it's on a more lasting, deeper level, I would think.
Yeah, yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, and one thing I'd love to leave as a tool for people who do end up watching this is we're talking a lot about the daily stresses that come up and perceptions and our thoughts and how we process. So a tool that was downloaded to me at 2:30 in the morning. I just experienced, probably about 3 days before this, a really wonderful example of how to process through, and I'm not remembering what my big issue was at the time, but how to process through a similar issue. And so I had that in my memory bank of a healthy way to process. And then something came up that was causing me anguish and trying to figure out the best way. And it was just staying on my mind, which I don't do that often, but it was. So I just went to bed that night and asked for guidance. And around 2:30 in the morning, I was given the visual of one side of your brain, we'll just say the left side and the right side. And my left side of the brain had the healthy. And I was asked to put my hands out. So I was asleep, kind of asleep awake, seeing my hands out in front of me. And I saw the healthy understanding and then the stressful anguish trying to figure it out. And I was guided to just flip the stressful anguish right over to the healthy and feel it drop. And that was easy because I'm always saying to clients, allow all non-beneficial energy to drop into the Herkimers under the table. So it just dropped right into the healthy, and the healthy's got it. And then I was guided to flip my hand over. When I flipped my hand over, I could feel my whole body relax. And I went right back to sleep because the healthy side of the brain, not the healthy side of the brain, the healthy memory had it and it knew what to do with it. And everything turned out fine. And I really don't remember what it was, but I do remember it was fine.
You did that in your imagination, or you did it, so you imagined in your hand that you had the
I could just see them. My eyes were shut and it was 2:30 in the morning and I get guidance.
Yeah.
I get downloads. And I was receiving one and I didn't even open my eyes, but I could see my hands and I didn't move my hands. So I would say, I guess, imagination. I could see my hands right out in front. And then I just saw, and I went by the guidance and I did it. And I wasn't expecting anything. And then when my hand turned back over, because I left my hand there and I was guided, turn your hand back over. And I turned my hand back over and I was completely relaxed because I knew that the healthy experience knew exactly what to do. And it was, my worry was in good hands.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I don't know the science behind that.
Well, I think that the more that you're, like if you have an isolated place in your brain, if they could take an MRI of your brain and you're under stress, they'll show specific parts of the brain lighted up because, like maybe the amygdala or other parts of the brain. And so the thinking is very isolated. But if you, the more the cells that go in the corpus callosum that join the two sides of the brain, the more of those cells that you have where you can spread out the thinking like you did. Like you can look at it this way or you can look at it that way, or you can kind of spread it out, then the body is more relaxed. And then when you're a deep meditator, that's what happens is the whole brain lights up, and that's why you get relaxed, is because you're not focused in on one, sort of obsessing in one area or putting all the energy in one area. You're spreading it out throughout the brain. And that creates relaxation in the nervous system too. So.
Well, and it's neat that the brain knew exactly what to do. I'm not kidding. The next day, and I wish I could remember the exact example, but what I remembered was the process.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and guidance is there because you're connected to the whole universe, and the universe has done so many things. It has so wise and has so much knowledge that you really just have to learn how to listen.
Yep.
And I think that's what our profession is. Yeah. Our profession is is more listening than it is anything else, and tuning in to things that most people miss.
Yeah, that's that. And I think once we accept we are truly this energy field and that we are all one big energy field.
Yeah.
You relax into that and you feel yourself, I think of it as, because I've experienced this, being dimensionless. And at the very same time, so you're absolutely nothing at all and you're everything at the same moment.
Yes.
And that's when you get that you're, I don't know, that's just, and when we sleep, that's probably easier to do. And that's when information flows through, you know?
Yeah. And being relaxed helps too. I mean,
Yeah.
the nervous system is like an antenna. And if your nervous system is shot, you're not going to get guidance. You have to take that time to relax and tune in, which you do when you come to get energy healing.
Yes, that's, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
But that is a tool for anyone watching. It's a really powerful tool and it's easy to do. So basically, to summarize, you have an example of a healthy way of dealing with a situation.
Right, but you don't need to know what it is. You just have it in the hand.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I did need to know what it was. I had it. So it'll be individual. And maybe scientifically you don't need to know what it is, but I did. I had a specific example of something healthy that I could take this other situation and just let it fall right into it.
Yeah.
Just drop it right in. And when I turned my hand over, it was completely gone. And it really was, and it was in good hands. So that's the key, is to know that your concern, your anguish is now in good hands within your same brain.
Right. Just the thought of that, just the thought that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's soothing and calming for the nervous system, and you can relax. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that tool.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to end our session now, but thank you everybody for watching. If you're still listening, and we'll do another one soon.
Yes, sounds great.
Okay.
Bye-bye.